welcome to the Ruth Loves to Knit podcast. I'm Ruth and I love to knit. It is Tuesday the 3rd of May 2022 and you're very, very welcome here. If you've been here before, you know what to expect, but if you're a new viewer, I am so thrilled that you're here. I really am. I've had a wee spike in subscriptions, I think due to a couple of podcasters mentioning me, but we'll talk about that a wee bit later. So I'm coming to you from Devon in the southwest of England, and I hadn't planned to podcast today. I was going to do it tomorrow, but you know what life's like. Tomorrow's shaping up to be a busy day for some reason, and so I just quickly ran about, got everything together. I had sort of it planned, but I apologise ahead of time if this is a worse than normal podcast. You know my ramble anyway, but hopefully I've got everything where I need it to be and I've got everything ready. So, and we'll just not even talk about this almost on to COVID level haircut. That's another story. Where can you find me? I'm Ruth Loves to Knit podcast on Instagram. I'm Ruth Loves to Knit on Ravelry, and I have an email for the podcast, which is, surprise, surprise, ruthlovestoknit at gmail.com, and do feel free to get in touch with me on any of those platforms. So I hope everybody's well. I hope that you've got a cuppa or you're knitting or crochet or whatever your craft of choice is, and we will go into it. I have my notes down here as usual because I'm a rambler and I don't want to miss anything out. Although last time I did the podcast, I missed out several things that I'd even written down. So anyway, I'm only human, and yeah, as I say, I'm just so glad to have you with me. So of a quiet house today was the main reason for podcasting, because my husband's going to Ireland very, very early in the morning. The kids are at school, the dog's asleep, and I just thought, let's go for it. So as I say, bear with me and we'll get there, but nobody seems to mind my all over the place podcast, so yeah, let's just go for it. So I want to just share a couple of things right at the start. As you know, I do monetize this channel, and as you know, if you've watched before, the money that I got for March, I wanted to send to help the situation in Ukraine, and I just put a wee picture here. I want to be very transparent. I just put a wee picture here of the money that was sent. Well done, that's all you, none of me. And just letting the ads run. Was able to, I'm not that big a podcast, and we were still able to get £160, just slightly lower. We rounded it up, and we were able to get £160. Thank you so much. And it's only a little drop in the ocean, but hopefully somehow it'll have helped somewhere. And my ad revenue will go back to the hospital that I work for. I used to work for in Bangladesh, Lamb Hospital. And thank you so much too, as some of you have contacted me this past month and asked details about that hospital and how you can donate. So I will put in the I said downstairs last time, didn't I? I will put down below or on the screen, whatever I can manage, the details of where you can go to donate to that cause. So thank you so much. Also want to thank the several podcasts that have maybe mentioned me this time. Maybe there's others, I don't know. Maybe I just got into the YouTube algorithm, I don't know, but just want to say thank you to lovely Casey from Young Folks Knits. We're actually doing a test knit, which you'll see in a wee minute or two together, and a lot of other people as well. Lovely Mega from Skeins of Dreams is on there too, and I want to say thank you to Casey, thank you so much, and I want to say thank you to Claudia. I suppose we would say Claudia, but she's from Germany. She says Claudia, and it's so much nicer, I think. And she is Sunbird Crochet, and she mentioned me as well. And she doesn't just do crochet, but she is a really, really advanced crocheter and very loves the Murat magazine. And I think that's getting great press at the minute. So if you're a crocheter, maybe pop over and see Claudia as well over on Sunbird Crochet. But obviously I'll put things down below with all the details. And then I couldn't get to knit group last week. and in our local yarn shop in Oakham. Well, I say local, it's 10 miles from me, but anyway. And I couldn't get in for the knit group, but I really wanted to sit and knit with some of my friends. And I knew my friend Sarah was working in the Woolly Beater in Oakhampton. You've heard me mention it 100 times. And Sarah is actually Hannah's mum from Hannah's Happy Space. We're keeping it in the family. But I thought I'd go in and sit and knit with her a wee while she was working there. And because, you know, there's quiet times, there's busier times, and it just sat by the counter. And I was sitting knitting away, and suddenly I heard this, "Ruth loves to knit." Well, I was like, whoop, whoop. And it was a lovely lady. I think she said her name was Dee. She asked me about my husband and my children. Incidentally, I live here with my husband and 2 children. And it was just lovely to meet her, a bit of a shock. And I'm sure she said, "Now I know how you get all that knitting done. You just sit and knit." Well, I don't just sit and knit, but it was really, really nice to meet somebody. And she doesn't come from that about an hour away. But yes, it was really fun to meet. So hi Dee, thank you so much for making yourself known to me. And I hope you enjoy the wool that you bought in the Woolly Beater. So there you go. Fame at last. 5 seconds of fame. And yeah, it was a very surreal moment, but there you go. And then, as you know, if you watched right to the end of my podcast last time, I always say last week, I talked about a donkey. Well, I have been sent so many donkey related things, all, you know, pictures and all the different things. And I just want to thank a little lady, well, not a little lady, a lady in our church. And I wasn't at church this particular Sunday. I wasn't feeling very well. And my son came home and said, "A lady at church gave you this and she has the same hair as you." I think he means grey. And this wee boy is my donkey. And I just want to thank her so, so much. Look, isn't it brilliant? And I have a wee donkey for my illustrations now when I talk to the kids at church. I just, if anybody ever knits anything for me, I am over the moon. I just think, because I know the work that's gone into it. And she is actually knitting wee toys for welcome packs for the Ukrainian families who are landing over here in our direction. And I can imagine opening a welcome, I presume there's food and clothes and all that sort of stuff in it, but just opening a welcome pack and seeing a wee I suppose the Americans call it stuffy, a wee stuffed toy that somebody's taken the time to make for them. Hopefully it'll give them a wee bit of comfort in this bewildering situation that they're in. So there you are, that's my donkey. So it's a wee bit of incoming, but also just a wee nice wee thing. If you watched my podcast last time, if you didn't, go back and watch the very endy bit, and you'll see why I have this. And she tried to do a wee cross in the back, you can see. As you can see, you know the significance of the cross. So thank you very, very much. So I was chuffed a bit with that, and she does indeed have hair like mine. So that's that. So I think that's everything. Just look and see. Yes, that's everything so far of all the gobbledy, chatty bits. And as I say, this could go one way or the other because it was very rushed, but I didn't want to leave it because there may be the announcement of the giveaway winner and another maybe wee surprise. You know, I might have it up my sleeve. Well, we'll start in as the usual. I do it very traditionally because it keeps me right, and my menopausal brain doesn't work well if I don't have a structure. So we'll start with FOs. And as some of you remember last time, for what is it, May now? Oh, can you imagine? May. I was doing botanical yarn samples for Botanical Yarn for their yarn subscription boxes, and it was all secret and everything, and I've shown you them all so far until last month's, and just put a wee picture up here of the socks I did for the Botanical Yarn. Now I went to message Twinset and Purl or Sophie of Botanical Yarn to see if these patterns were going to become open to everybody. I would presume they wouldn't be if they're special patterns for the yarn box, but it's such a shame because they have been lovely, lovely patterns to knit. And these ones are called the Sparkling Fountain Socks, and very, very different. It was really, they were so effective, lovely to knit, all Twinset and Purl patterns. If you're a sock knitter, check them out because they're so well written, so easy to understand, and just a wee bit different. And even though I've lost my sock mojo, I'm quite proud of knitting these ones, and it was a beautiful colour to knit as well. Now she has asked me to do some more, but I just have said no. I've just lost my mojo. and hopefully somebody else will get the chance to knit their beautiful patterns. So anyway, so that was my, although it was finished in end of March, I'll just show you it now, so prove that I did knit them. And then I may need an intervention. May actually need somebody to come and knock these out of my hand. I am obsessed. I showed you last week the Mindfulness Shawl by Made with Loops. Just such a, I suppose that's the whole point of it. It's mindfulness or mindlessness. It's just the most simple but effective wee pattern, and absolutely filling my sock void. And I can, as soon as I finish one, of another one on the needles. In fact, I might have a couple going at the one time. And I'm wearing one that I haven't even blocked because I was so excited. It does match my dress. It's a kind of a, my dress is, I put this picture on Instagram yesterday and everybody said, oh, you look lovely in red, but it's actually terracotta. And there's a lovely wee terracotta fleck in this. I really do not need this today, I have to say, but it'll come off in a wee minute. But I may have knit 4 of them. I just love them. I mean, as I said, I think last time I used to look at garter stitch as like a beginner project. How snobby am I? You know, sort of like, well, Court, anybody can do that. Horrible person. But this has just been perfect for me. Knit group, Zoom meetings, sitting on the phone. Yes, my mum and dad know that I knit while I talk to them on the phone. And it's just been brilliant. And the one I had started was actually the kit. It was originally done in collaboration with Shillister Yarns, which is up on the Isle of Skye. And she's done a couple of collaborations, the Healing Shawl as well she did with them. And somebody bought me the kit for my birthday, and I knit it up. And this, I hadn't finished it, I don't think, but look. This is the colourway Tansy. It's on my hair, sorry about that. With a lovely wee picot bind off. I mean, simple, simple, simple. It's been folded up, sorry. And that was the first one I did, and I fell in love the minute I did it. It's just one skein. Now, it is recommended that you do DK sport weight, but I have been doing these further ones in 4-ply or fingering weight, and I've just upped the needle size. And I do, the only thing about this, I do regret not upping the needle size. It's knit on a 4mm, and I wish I'd done a 4.5 because it is probably denser than I would want, but it's gorgeous. And literally, when I get up, showered, dressed in the morning, making their kids lunches and everything, I put one of these on, and it nearly stays on the whole day because it doesn't drop, it stays put, doesn't get in its way, and I just like something round the back of my neck. Although I do have the tropical moments, I do like something round my neck, and I can take it off, put it back on, and I can't, honestly, for a first shawl it's fantastic, for a palette cleanser it's fantastic, for somebody who just wants, and you'll see some of my whips are a wee bit more complicated, it has just been brilliant. So that's number 1, and that's in the Tansy colourway from Shillister Yarns up in Skye. Pop that down there. Then the next one I did was, this yarn was given to me in a yarn swap package, and oh, that's not going to show the colours, it's brighter than that, so the sun's going in and out, maybe that's a wee bit, it's a wee bit, that's a wee bit brighter, it's a wee bit brighter than it's showing. Don't know if I can get, anyway, it's gorgeous, I don't care. So this was a sock set, and this is from Wool Matters. Did I write the colourway? It's called Ari. I'm not sure, it's all botanical dyed. Now that's coming up really sludge brown, it's not, I do apologise, I'm not being able to show it. There's a nice picture of it on Instagram if you want. Well, that's probably better, that's probably it. And I was given this, as I say, in a, you know, I've always wanted it, but it was, you know, a wee bit pricey. But I was given it in a yarn swap, sock swap box, and it was a sock set, so I just used the wee 20-gram mini to do the picot, and it's gorgeous too, and oh, so gorgeous. Not superwash, it's, oh, they 2 that I've shown you aren't superwash, so they're just gorgeous. So that's my second one. Now this one is pure luxury. This was also given to me in a yarn swap box, and honestly probably not my colours in a way, and maybe while I was knitting it I thought, oh, I should maybe have done a nice lace pattern with this or something, but I love it. It's got silk in it. I suppose I should be showing you, sorry, This is whenever you realise you've rushed things. So, first one in Tansy is Sheila Stair. And those kits are still on her website. I'll put the details of the website down below. Then the second one that I showed you there is the Wool Matters. Oh, throw it on the ground, I'll not get up again. The Wool Matters, Fibre Co. And it's all botanically dyed. And Sheila Stair's botanically dyed too. Oh, she uses all sorts of things. And it was 120 gram sock set. Hers is Shetland wool as well. And this is 100% Shetland and Romney lamb's wool from ethically and regeneratively farmed sheep. So you even get to feel good about yourself when you're doing it. So that's that one. And then this one I'm showing you is, it was given to me in a yarn swap, as I say. It's Solstice Yarns. Hand-dyed yarn and fibre. And it's Incoming Storm. It's 75 merino, 15 silk, 10% cashmere. And it is, I wore it to church on Sunday. And it's beautiful. I wore it with a green dress. I think it is stormy, isn't it? But it really is beautiful. Oh, I mean, look, the drape of that. It is gorgeous. And I actually had looked at it and thought, don't know if that's my colour and don't know what I'm going to do with that. Oh, so glad I knit one of these with it. Look at that. Wee bits of rusty yellow. And again, just with the picot. And I just went up to 4.5 because I like the drapier fabric. So I went up to 4.5 and can't tell you anymore, it's a paid for pattern, but I have about 15 grams left. So perfect. If you're wanting to knit something that's just simple, mindful, and you have that special skein that, like I say, sometimes too good for socks. These are, I mean, I have picked out 20 skeins. I want as many of these as I have socks. And maybe some of you saying, Ruth, it's a garter stitch shawl, but I just love it. I just love it. So, and so quite a few of you have messaged me and say you've bought the pattern and you're enjoying it too. So there you go. So that's the third one. And then the fourth one is on my neck. What am I wearing? So I keep saying this fringe, never mind. And this one is what was going to say, I did it a wee bit different. I should have maybe gone through the top, but I quite like that effect. Quite like that wee effect that it's showing there. It's sort of like an extra wee dimension to the pattern. And that one is, if I drop anything on the floor, it's not getting picked up. That is Attic Spin Dye in the colourway Graffiti. But I like this one because it has got superwash merino and bamboo 80-20, and I can feel it. It's really, so I thought even in the summertime, maybe if you know, just need a wee bit of something around your neck, this would be perfect. I just love it. And it's not even blocked. I mean, you probably don't even need to block it. Maybe just to put a bit more of a point in it, but you can see there, see the point. So that's 4 of them, and I want 104 of them. I absolutely love it. If you can all knit, I don't know, sweaters in all the different colours that just look plain to me, I can knit these. So there you go. That's my 4 mindfulness shawls by Made with Loops, and I have 100 more to knit. So I'll try not to bore you with them, but I'll just wear them, just put, you know, like a product placement. And yeah, there's going to be more of them because I love them. Anyway, wake up, it's over now. Then I remember I had a birthday cast on, and I cast on the birthday bash. Hopefully we'll be putting some pictures of the original of the pattern photographs so you can see what they're supposed to be like. And I used for this one, I'll show you it first, see which way it goes. So you started with the plain, and then you just gradually went up. That'd be my thumbnail. And I don't know if it's the yarn I used was Crookston Crafts. The blue is Crookston Crafts, lovely Claire. And it is The colourway is Admiral, and it's 4-ply, and it's 60% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 20% superfine alpaca. And the other one, the colour one, which was a real rainbow of colour, as you can see, is Ted Knits UK, and it's called a Monster Mash, and didn't even click, because I said last time that that was an appropriate thing to do with it. Oh dear me. And so the birthday bash shawl was from Monster Knits, was knit with Monster Mash yarn. But from the pictures, I thought it was going to be massive, like a real big shawl, but I don't know whether, I didn't block it massively because I wanted to keep the definition of the stitches, and there's plenty more stretch. I don't know whether it's the, you know, the alpaca has made it small, but it's really, it's not a massive shawl. So it's all slip stitches. And I think it's just as nice in the back. And then you finish off with, like, can you see honeycomb? Not clear, sorry. There you go, a wee bit better, that's it. But when I put it on, it's perfect. It's just, I've even got a stitch marker still at the bottom of it. It's perfect for me, you know, just as in under a coat, wee bit of pop of colour. I think I'm sitting lower down today, you can't see it. And just under your coat like that, and I think it's perfect. Whereas if it's a big long shawl, it would maybe have been a bit unruly. But that's the birthday bash shawl by Monster Knit. She's got some beautiful shawl patterns, and I think it's lovely. I think it's great. And as I said, if you've got one skein, you know, that you're thinking, oh, maybe I regret buying that's a bit bright, and you put it with the darker skein, I think it definitely, you can see the brightness of it, but I do think it mutes it down a wee bit. So you could, if you're scared of your inner colour, this might be a good one to do. So that's the birthday bash shawl. Is there anything else I need to say about it? No, I think that's it. And obviously those are all available. Actually, it will say, the Mindfulness Shawl is not available on Ravelry. You have to go to Made with Loops. I'm looking over that wall like it's going to give me inspiration. Made with Loops website. Oh dear me. But I'll put all that down below so you'll not miss out. And then turning the page, we're getting there. And then the final shawl, you'd be glad to know. Was I did the Periscoping Sisters MKAL that they do every year just before American Mother's Day. I think that's coming up very soon, isn't it? And I've done it for 3 years now, and it's always mother's something in the title. So there's a mother's prayer, a mother's hug, and this year was a mother's strength. And they really don't give you any sort of, they just said it's a real stash buster. They give you a bit of an idea of, you know, if you're using a plain solid yarn, use multicolored minis. If you're using a multicolored sort of speckled whatever main color, use very solid plain minis. So I thought, I'll just throw everything at it. And as I said last time, I got from Cuddlebum Yarns here in the UK, and they were doing a wee Fibre Friday box, and you got this cutest wee box with these cute little 5 gram minis, and all cute, and they just plop through your letterbox, and I got a bit carried away with them. And then when I got them, I thought, oh, what am I going to do with these? So I found a project to do them, but I still got half at least left. And this is what I ended up with and it's been out for a while now, so I don't think I need to put a warning that you know, not to look, but if you don't want to look, whatever. And this is my mother's strength. Did warn you, threw everything at it. And I used, so the colours, the minis, I just went into the bag. I didn't colour coordinate, as you can see. I just threw it at it. And the solid, a bit of solid, is Magnolia. They're drop stitches. Magnolia from Blue Fern Yarns. So I've really fallen in love with, I've knit several things with the Magnolia colourway. It's just perfect because it's not completely solid, just with a wee fleck, and it just goes with so many things. So that's Blue Fern Yarns, Shannon, and it's Magnolia. I've knit with think all the bases now that she does. That's platinum, apart from fingering, I think. Platinum DK, and if you remember, I did the Calville shawl from lovely Merryweather Knits, and I did it in her bamboo. Really loving working with bamboo. It's something that's only really got into this year, but I'll show you. Now, this bit here is not in the pattern, these stripes, so it should have really stopped about there. But I just, annoys me having yarn left over. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. Annoys me having yarn left over. So I just did those wee stripes. Some of you might be saying, do you not think you'd enough? But I just think this is how I wear most of my, I do wear them across my shoulders, but this is how I would wear most of my knits, in under a jacket, in under a cardigan, in under a, I do think I'm lower down today because you can't see as much, but anyway. Oh. That's the finished. No, it's blowing out. That shows how bright it is. And they called these toggles. And it's so soft. I mean, it's just so soft around your neck. Just so cozy. And yeah, it just adds another wee pop of colour. Now, you can see there may be a button in that. Doesn't that look gorgeous with that button? If you have been here before, you will know that many of my articles have random buttons. Now, you can't see this at all whenever it's all squeezed up. So we, what do you call it? Not ceramic, ceramic button to cover up a mistake that I couldn't ignore. I don't know what I did, but it didn't look right. So I just covered it up with that wee button. But as I say, like when you have it around your neck, you can't even see it. So there you go. Multitude of sins. If you've got some lovely buttons in your stash, maybe you need to. And it's got an I cord at the top. I really enjoyed knitting this and just doing a wee bit of. I'm not a natural mystery MKAL kind of person. I like to see a picture in case, you know, because am I doing this wrong? Is this the right way to do it? But I always enjoy this one, and Amy and Deborah are lovely. So the Periscoping Sisters, it's on Ravelry now. You can buy the full thing and just go into a Mother's Strength. And yeah. Yeah, this is the colour edition. My whips are not so colourful, you'll be glad to know. So please don't turn off. You will not need glasses or sunglasses for the rest of the podcast, I promise. So there you go. Shawls, Shawlpalooza. And I will wear every one of them, and I love them all, and I wear shawls nearly every day. And I think there's a misconception with shawls that shawls have to be round your shoulders. They have to be these massive things. It's something that your granny wore. But a shawl can be one skein. Oh, this fluff's going up my nose. One skein, that look, just that wee thing round your neck, that is a shawl too, as well as the big Stephen West five skein shawls. They're all shawls. So, and I, as you well know, I love them. Right, need a wee drink here. I have so much on my desk I can't even reach it. In my new yellow cup. Do you like that? Put it down here so it's closer. Sorry if you hear the slurping. I know that annoys me. That annoys some people. It's just water. Don't worry. So is that everything there that I've done so far? I think so. So we'll go on to the whip. So I had cast everything off. So I had full rein to cast everything on. It's my knitting. I cast on if I want to, but actually I was quite restrained. But that, all of those, such a contrast to what I'm knitting now. Now, if you watched last time, sorry, I had said it was my mum's birthday, so my mum was 80. Sorry, mum. Last Tuesday, and we couldn't go over. Myself and my daughter had planned to go over, but I had quite a big hospital appointment on the Wednesday, and it was just, you know, too close and too many germs and all the rest of it. Didn't want to miss it, so we didn't get to go. But I had decided to knit her. It was a very small, one of the smaller shawls, and nothing wrong with the shawl, nothing wrong with the yarn I picked, but they just didn't mesh together. So I ripped it out. And she messaged me and said, you know the way that you were going to knit that for me, well, could you knit me a cardigan instead? And actually she liked the Mauritian one by Isabel Kramer, but then she realised it was in DK and it probably wouldn't do her. She likes more of the fine knit things. So I said, of course, that's fine. So we went through patterns I had on Ravelry. And this is Jackanory tell a story, sorry. Went through patterns I had on Ravelry and some other ones. She wanted cables or something nice down the front. And she said to me, could you knit in silk? Would silk be a possibility? So I messaged Sarah at the Woolly Beater and said, do we have anything in it's like my shop. Is there anything? Oh, and she wanted royal blue. Don't ask for much, Mum, do you? And so I messaged Sarah anyway. I said, is there anything in that we could have in DK or in DK? No, there was no really suitable DK because she didn't want it to be acrylic and blah, blah, blah. And so I was going in, the kids were going to see a film and I was going to go and sit and go to Knit Group on the Saturday. So I went in and Sarah brought me out this bag. She says, I found this and don't know if it would do, but it's the right colour. Look at the right thing. So, all that to say, this is the project that I've cast on. This is in my, I've still got the label on it. This is in my lovely bag that I got for Christmas from my lovely friend Nikki. It's from Rick Rackroom. I actually left the label on so I could show you. It's from Rick Rackroom. She gifted this to me for Christmas, and it's got one of those ones, you know, that you can put everything in. So, the yarn that Sarah said to me, well, what about this? It's not the perfect colour. That's, you know, Mum wanted royal blue, but I don't think she wanted the sharp royal, but I'm going to keep it out here because I think if it comes, oh no, maybe it's okay there. So that's the colour of the yarn. Tick. Perfect. Let me show you the make of the yarn. Then I've got in plastic bag inside here because you'll realise in a minute, sorry for rustling. Oh, there's lots of rustle, I'm sorry. She had 4 balls of it, which is exactly how much I needed. And it is Regia Silk 4-ply. Now I have knit before with this. I knit, if you remember, what was it I knit? The Ephemeris shawl. It is a delight to knit with. I absolutely love it. And my stomach's rumbling, I do apologise. And it is 55% wool, 25% polyamide and 20% silk, and it is soft. And there is 400 meters per 100 grams. So it was meant to be. Got it in the local yarn shop, and I'll put a picture up here. And I am doing the Night Out cardigan. My mum chose it, and this is one I had in my library. And it's Locatelli cardigan, so you know that the pattern is great. No worries at all. She sent me her measurements, so I hope I've done it right. And this is what I've done so far. Now, because it's silk, it might actually need a wee glean before I even give it to her. But this is what I've done so far. I've split for the sleeves, so it's a top-down cardigan, raglan. And 4-ply is a bit of a shock going back to 4-ply or fingering whenever I've been knitting DK so much, but this is what I've done so far. So, oops. So I've split for the sleeves. I put, what's that? 1 inch below. And she knows she's getting it, so I don't need to tell her to turn away. And this is, oh, hang on. This is so far is the pattern. Can you see it? Is it all right? Well, you can see it on the picture I showed you anyway. Obviously, it's going to be a bit puckered up because, sorry, I hate talking with my hand in front of my mouth. Rubbish podcaster, can't show. There we go. I think it's going to be beautiful. And the best bit is you knit the button band as you go, which is great. So button bands, I've put the wee stitch markers to show where the buttons are, but I might have to let Mum pick the buttons because I think buttons are very personal choice, aren't they? You can see again. Where's the... Oh, there we go. So it's knitting up, actually really quite fast. She's smaller than me, obviously. Knitting up really quite fast. Sarah's birthday was last week. She only asked me to do it last Saturday or something. And everything, all the moons aligned, and I got the right yarn for the right pattern. It is a wee bit, as you would imagine with the content of it, it will need it's just coming up with a wee bit of fluff. I don't know if you can see it maybe. But I mean, that's no bother. And as I say, it's divine to work with. It's just, you can imagine knitting with silk is just gorgeous. So that is my night out cardigan for my mum's birthday. I get it for next year. Regia Silk 4-ply, and the card is by Locatelli. So there you go. That's one cast on. And then another cast on is this in this bag. Now this is old Bird Street UK, Etsy.com. That's how old this is. They have totally rebranded to Bird Street UK. Bird Street Yarn. Anyway, you all know who I'm talking about. I'll put the new website down below. And I got this. Now you can see it's a rather large bag. Okay, well, what's in it is one skein, but you'll understand. I am handling it with care. Now I told you last week that I was at a yarn festival, and I had picked up this yarn to knit a silk wrap. Well, full disclosure, it's not for me. But oh my goodness, do you ever second guess yourself? I'll put a picture of the Tidal Wrap up here by Steph of Perrin Yarns. There was a sample at the yarn show. It is gorgeous, beautiful. The pattern is super simple, but I have knit lots of lace. Lace is as you can see, lace is probably my happy place. I've gone suddenly, and I've got several projects with lace in it. Lace is probably my happy place. I love lace shawl. I love knitting lace, but I have actually, in all my years of knitting, never knit lace with lace weight yarn. And I just completely lost my confidence. I just look like an old dishcloth. And it is beautiful to knit with. I'll show you the picture. And then, sorry, it's in a plastic bag because I am terrified of where's my label? So many pockets, there we go. So it is from Perrin Yarns, and the it's called Tranquil Lace, 50% silk, 50% baby camel. Let me start that again. 50% silk, 50% baby camel, and it's called Heart's Desire, and there's 800 meters to 100 grams or 872 yards, and so we can imagine silk and camel. Oh. So that's why I have it in a plastic bag to protect it. Sorry, it's crinkling. Then look at these. I'm knitting on straight needles. I haven't knit on straight needles in I don't even remember when I did knit on straight needles. Look at the size of them. They are like toothpicks. They're 3 millimeters. Can't even see it. 3 millimeters. And it has been a whole new experience. I was so lacked confidence. This is the 4th time I've started it, and if it was for me, I think I would have given up. It's ridiculous. The yarn is beautiful. The pattern is beautiful. It's even the kind of pattern. It's just a 12 row repeat, although I do have to look at it in case I miss stitches. So I stupidly, been knitting for years, went online and said, does anybody think this looks right? And somebody said to me, why don't you do a swatch? Yeah, that's how I thought of myself. Duh. I never swatch for shawls. Just go for it. Never swatch. But of course I did. So I did a swatch in 4-ply to show that I could still, you can see the lovely eyelets, that I could still actually knit. This is not a swatch, it's a sample, I suppose. So that I could actually knit, do lace. And then I did one in actual lace. Hang on, now you do need your sunglasses for this one. So my faith is restored. I can see, it can be stretched out an awful lot more. I can see the eyelets, okay, I can, and I can see the lovely, it'll actually be, it'll be like that, and then right across. So my faith was restored. Then they said use wooden needles and use straight needles, because actually whenever I was using wooden circulars, but when it was going on to the cable, it was tight, it was loosening or tightening the stitches. Anyway, it was driving me potty. So 3rd time was not a charm, 4th time is a charm, and this is where I'm at. So this is just going to be done when it's done. I do 12 rows of it every so often, and get the right way. Look, you can see the zigzag. Sorry, see the zigzag is definitely the zig, but you would hold nothing for the for the lace. I mean, well, you can suppose, I don't know. But close up, it just looks like a dog's dinner. But I have faith. I have faith in the process. I am convinced I'm going to snap these needles in half. They're wooden needles, Knit Pro Symphony. Yeah, Knit Pro Symphony. As I say, they're size 3s. I've used toothpicks that are bigger than them, but that's a beautiful. That is definitely the colour of the yarn. It's lovely. It goes with my dress. That's lovely. And as I say, not for me, but I will get it done. You'll probably, I don't know if I'll probably just show you a bit more, but there's nothing much to see till I get it blocked, is there? Suppose it'll be that way. Anyway, so do you know, you think, I like to think there's, apart from maybe brioche or something, there's not many patterns that I turn my hand to now that I think I couldn't do if I really concentrated, if I, you know, if I asked for help, or if I, you know, I kind of like to think that I'm at that stage. Well, I just decided I couldn't knit when I was doing this, and there's just because it's lace, lace weight rather. The pattern is beautiful. The pattern is so simple. I'm kicking myself now because it's so simple. Overthought it completely, and lace weight yarn still probably wouldn't be my choice of yarn, although I do have a couple of projects I want to knit in it, but this is going to be divine when it's finished, absolutely divine. And I think probably because it's for somebody else as well, I'm a bit more kind of wary of it. But anyway, so that's why I've got it in this ridiculous big bag with a zip. And it's in the plastic bag, so it doesn't catch on the zip, it doesn't get dirty, it doesn't get pulled. Nothing if not conscientious. And I mean, there's the thing for the package for the needles. So I keep getting the needles stuck in my sleeves. I'm just not used to it anymore. And so I suppose it is a good wee reminder of where we all started from, and where many of you are still using straight needles and wouldn't want to use anything else. So that's a long story to talk about the Tidal Wrap by Perrin Yarns, and it's on Ravelry. And then as I said at the start, I signed up for a test knit. I'm going to say this wrong. Ver and Rose, it's V-E-R-T, isn't that French? Vert, as I would say, and Rose on Instagram and Ravelry, put out a lovely cardigan 6 weeks ago, and I applied for the test knit, but they only had the big sizes that were too big for me, and I decided not to do it. And then I could have done it for somebody else, but I decided not to do it. And I've since bought the pattern. And then but the lovely Alex, who is the designer, actually got in touch with me this time and said, would you like to do it? So it didn't feel like I could say no, and didn't want to say no. It's right up my street. And I say there's not that many of us doing it, but it's a nice wee group, and it's lovely to help somebody. She's only got 2 or 3 other patterns, so it's lovely to help a new designer out. And the pattern is called the Iza Cardigan, I-Z-A, by Ver, pretend I can speak French, and Rose. And I don't know when it's coming out, but it's a good long testing period. And I am doing the 2X size, which takes a lot of knitting. There's one tester who's completely finished the body already, but she's knitting an extra small, so I'll let her away with that. I'm using the this yarn here. The smell, it's just, you open the bag and the smell of wool just comes out. So I'm using Diggle DK from Woolly Knit. I think every British podcaster uses Woolly Knit now, don't they? And the colourway is Rust Nap. This is coming back to front for me, so I hope you can see it. And then so I had 10 of these in stash. I paid $9.99 for these. And I had 10 in stash, and I need exactly 10. And actually I had planned to use this for casting back on my Mauritian cardigan by Isabel Kramer, and I'd asked about if anybody had any more, and 2 people got back to me, but actually I decided to cast it. I think this is the perfect yarn for this. Now the test pattern was knit in merino cotton, but I decided I would get more use out of it for a more wintry cardigan, and this is what we've done so far. This is the front, 2 front panels, obviously the same. Isn't it lovely? And the yarn's just, I think it's perfect for it. It's not totally plain, and lovely button band, which hopefully will block out for the It's a bottom-up cardigan. I haven't done a bottom-up cardigan in ages, so it does feel like it's taken forever. But okay, 2X does take forever. And again, I'm just knitting on. I'm kind of just knitting as I want to, but also sort of thinking, right, today is the day I'm going to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to do the other, because there's a lot of purling going on in my life at the moment. So my hands don't always cope with it. So there's the two sides. I think it's lovely. Really serviceable cardigan, but yeah, with a lovely wee design on the front. And I am just chuffed to bits with that. It's so nice to be asked to do it. And as I say, really, really economical yarn, and the smell of, if I get this wet, nobody will want to sit near me, is just divine. And I think the test is right through till the end of June. But I just keep knitting away. For my size, I don't need to have it all finished. But I will certainly keep knitting for as long as I possibly can. And that's in my fry bag from Soft Accents. I think I said Sweet Accents last time. And somebody actually asked me if I spoke Shona, which is fry is a Shona word. I do not. I googled it. And of course it means happy. Can't be happier than that, can we? With the yellow inside. So it's perfect for this project. It makes me smile every time. Oh, and then just have to show you another yellow thing that my husband bought me for my birthday, a wee yellow heart. Remember the 50 yellow things that ended up being 15 yellow things? Crocheted. He's doing well, look. So that's that. And this is going to be another long one. And then I also have another mindfulness shawl on the go. Don't care. Sorry, not sorry. And this is another Wool Matters skein, actually. See if we've got the... Oh, don't have the tag. Oh, I do. And I got this for my birthday. Wool Matters fibre coat, and this one's Pim's Dream. Now, I don't drink, I have no idea what a Pim's looks like, but there you go. You can tell me if you think this looks like Pim's. And again, it is natural sock 4-ply Shetland Romney lamb's wool, ethically non-superwash, plastic free, and it's 360 meters, so it's a wee bit plumper than the other ones, and it's just coming up beautiful. Again, it will go with this dress. So this is the right side, and then this is all your knitting. So that's why it's so quick. That's why I'm getting it done so quick. And I just love this. I think it's beautiful. Probably is catching it. Does this look like a Pim's? I have no idea. It's got rusts in it, pinks in it. It's kind of clashing with that. Wonder. Kind of clashing with that bucket behind me. Sorry. All these podcasters have these amazing backdrops, and I have IKEA plastic buckets that used to be in my children's playroom. I think you get the idea. So that'll be my 5th, and there might be more before the next podcast. And that's my handbag knitting, actually. That's the one that I take to knit group and doctor's appointments. I had quite a big hospital appointment last week, and I was sitting knitting this. And a lady came out to me who obviously works there, and she was in plain clothes. So I don't know if she was, a nurse or whatever. And she came out to me and said, "Oh, you must be expecting a long time waiting from experience." So I said, "Yes, I always bring my knitting," and everybody stares at you like you're doing some 7th wonder of the world, And that's just in my wee bag that my lovely friend Hannah made me for Christmas. So there we go. Right. Zoomed through that, or maybe didn't, if you might think I didn't. But anyway, right, what you've probably all been waiting for. Now, I announced a giveaway for my birthday because I am beyond blessed. I had a big birthday. Because any of you have been under a rock, you'll have talked about it that much. But I wanted to pay it forward to somebody because I was so blessed. And I put together the wee prize package, excuse me as I reach down here. And I'm not sure again, if you want to see what it was, you can see the last podcast, but just, it's all in there. And I have chosen, there was 400 and something entries. Thank you so much. Maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, 300 or 400 entries. And some of the things were just brilliant. Some of the things that were said, I just want to read you quick, hold you in suspense another wee minute. I mean, I asked, what was your favourite thing about knitting, crafting, whatever? And these are just a couple. Somebody said, "It soothes my brain. Focusing on them seems to align everything properly, and I feel so much better." I presume them as the crafts. Knitting is a miracle. 2 basic stitches bring forth beauty, comfort and joy. People write so well. And so one other lady said, she wrote a comment, and then at the end she said, somebody once told me to leave it in the stitches, all your worries, stress, etc. I love that. Leave it in the stitches. Another lady wrote, helps me not to be anxious. My hands, the yarn seemed to unravel all the crazy parts of the day. I made a mess of that. My hands, the yarn seems to unravel all the crazy parts of the day. Go and have a wee look. I mean, some of them are whatever, you know, it's de-stresses, and so many people said it reminds them of time spent with parents or mums or grannies who taught them to knit, which is lovely. And it really warmed my heart. So anyway, but I love that one, leave it in the stitches. I really, really like that. So I'll put this over here and we'll announce the winner. Did I write it down? I did. So, drum roll. The winner of this one is Jennifer Atterberry. I'll put it on the thing because I'm sure on the screen, because I'm sure, and down below, because I'm sure my accent's butchering that, but I think I can say Jennifer. But Atterberry, I don't know where you're from, don't know if you're here or overseas. If you get in touch with me before the next podcast, which should be in about 2-3 weeks, let me know your shipping address and everything, and also I promise to pass a pattern too, so we'll discuss all that. If you wouldn't mind, could you email me or on Instagram, not Ravelry, because I really don't check there very often. Thanks very much. And then thanks to the lovely people who maybe mentioned me, I tipped over the 3,000, tipped over the 3,000 subscriber mark. Oh, now that might go back to below 3,000 after the giveaway. Sometimes it does, people only join for the giveaway, but I'm used to that, that's fine. But because of that, I thought I can't let it go unnoticed, and because so many of you commented, I wanted to give something else away. So I've done that too, and it is a skein of Bumbling Yarns. Now she's changed her branding to the Lonely Knitter, but it's so soft, it's beautiful. So still a wee bit of yellow in there, and it is it's hand dyed in the UK. It's superwash merino nylon, and it's floating lanterns at night. I think that'll knit up beautifully. And then I've just a wee notions bag, wee notions pouch. Just love one of my favourite bags has these ladies on it, and this always reminds me of my daughter. So now you have a bit of me and a bit of my daughter in your life, and I've drawn for that too. And sorry, I can't be more awkward, could I? And that is Caroline Partridge, and I'll put the picture of up there so you might recognise yourself, and just to make it totally transparent that it was done properly. It's just the random generator. So that's Jennifer Atterberry for the main giveaway, and then Caroline Partridge, again I don't know where you're from, for this wee extra. Just to thank you so much for watching me and subscribing. Now I was going to do some podcast recommendations, but I've gone on so long, I think I may just cut it. I'll do that next time. One thing I just did want to say, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Now I know I've been talking a lot about the Marie Curie sock quest, and I just wanted to show you, I was blown away. It's run by Sherlock Knits on Instagram. She's a doctor, Dr. Sarah. She works in, you'll have heard it on a lot of the British podcasts, but she works as a doctor in for the Marie Curie Hospice, Cancer Hospice. And this arrived since my last podcast. And it's a handwritten note from her. Like she must be the busiest person. And just, she wrote it to the knitter in residence and just thanking me for the socks. And she says, we managed to collect 354 pairs in the end, enough for every patient in every Marie Curie hospice last year on Christmas Day. We had some left over, so I donated some to the Ukrainian appeal, and we'll give the rest out to family and friends over the course of the year. So if you want to knit again this year, you know it's going to such a worthy cause, but also what an amazing woman she is, an amazing doctor she is, to take time out to handwrite a thank you note, to imagine it, right, like 300, I mean I sent what, 10 pairs or something, but it just blew me away. And then if you watch lovely Jeanette from Crafty Cleggs Creations, you'll know she always talks about her hubby having this printer thing. And I asked him, it's a wood burner thing, I don't know what it's called, and I asked him to make me some of these, and God, talk about turnaround. Can you see them? Ruthlovestoknit. Those brilliant just to put on my project bags. You can see Crafty Cleggs. And I think she's hoping to bring some of those to the shop. But if she doesn't, go and ask her. Go and ask her to put them in the shop. And those just came this morning, so I'm thrilled with those. So those are just two wee things I wanted to share with you as well. And so that's kind of my incoming stuff that I want to share with you. Now, I think that's enough waffle. And that is the end of my knitty content. And thank you so much for putting up with this today. Whenever I really wasn't prepared properly, although some of you might say it was just the same amount of nonsense you always talk. But if you're not staying on, as you know, if you've watched this for any length of time at all, I am a Christian, and I always share a wee bit what's on my heart with you at the end. But I know it's not for everyone. I know that some people, you can see the tail off, but I still have it on my heart to share anyway. And if you're leaving me now, I'll say thank you so much. Thank you for being with me. Have a great few weeks till I see you again, and just keep on knitting. All right, God bless. Bye. And if you're staying, I just want to share something that's really been on my heart for quite a while, but haven't really known how to talk about it, I suppose. And I hear so many people talking about me, and delusion of grandeur, not lots of people don't talk about me, but you know what I mean. A lot of people say, oh, Ruth is religious, and it just makes my toes curl. It always makes my toes curl a wee bit, as I know immediately it gets people's backs up. It can stop conversations, and at the very least you get lots of eye rolls. And I come from a country where religion just caused havoc. Things were done in the name of religion that just nearly destroyed a country, and were blamed on religion. And I know that's happening all over the world too. But I hope as you've listened to my podcasts over this last year, you'll know that I rarely talk about religion, but I talk non-stop about faith. And I want to talk about that today. Just because I'm a Christian, I say I'm a Christian just because I live in a Christian country, just because I go to church, just because I tick the box on the application form that says Christian, does not mean I am a Christian. And I often hear folk say she's Christian, but I like to say, and it's just a wee change, is I am a Christian. And the difference in just changing those few words to me means a lot. And you know, I googled faith and religion, and what it said was faith is the complete trust and confidence in something or someone, whereas religion is a specific system of belief or worship, often involving a code of ethics and philosophy. And in itself, it sounds great. It's great. But you know, Corrie ten Boom, you know, if you don't know Corrie ten Boom, go and check her out. She was a very elderly lady when she passed away. She is an amazing woman with great faith. But Corrie ten Boom said, "For I bring not a religion but a person who loves people, who died for them on the cross. For Jesus died for the sins of the whole world, and he will not that anyone should perish. He understands every single individual." And John 14:6 says, Jesus was talking to his disciples, and it says, he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." The Bible clearly tells us that repenting of our sins, placing our faith in Jesus Christ as Lord and Saviour, is the only way to get to heaven. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 and 9 says, "For it's by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is a gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." There's nothing you can do in your own strength to get there. There's nothing you can do to attain that salvation. Going to church, doing good works, helping people, giving lots of money to charities will not make you a Christian. It's fantastic, don't get me wrong here. That's absolutely fantastic. All of those things are and must and needed in this world, absolutely. But you know, Steve Lawson said, many will miss heaven by 18 inches, the distance from their head to their heart. They know about Christ, but do not know him. Sorry, I find it quite... You can be religious, but lost. You can have the Bible in your head, but not have Christ in your heart. Please don't be religious, but lost. So near, but so far, when there's a free gift of salvation just waiting for you to take. I'm sure many of you have seen the picture, and I will put it up here, and I'm sorry, it is a white Jesus. I know Jesus was not pure white there, you know, I know that, but it's the picture that is circulated. And Jesus is standing on one side of the door knocking, but there's no handle on that door. You have to let him in. You have to open that door from the inside. Revelation 3:20 says, here I am. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person and they with me. You have to ask him into your heart and life. No one else can do it for you. No one else can make you do it. It has to be from you, from inside you, a want and a need, that you realise your need for Jesus in your life. And you know, when I was a nurse, obviously we were taught CPR. And the ABC was that, you know, was what you were taught. If somebody had a heart attack or was in a life-threatening situation, you always check the airway, breathing, circulation, and then if you needed CPR, etc. Well, it's the same for becoming a Christian. You have to admit your sins, believe in God and confess those sins. Say sorry for your sins. Believe that he is who he says he is. And that could also be life-saving, just as CPR, the ABCs of CPR can be life-saving, so could the ABCs of salvation. So I hope that, I hope you can see from what I've said today that religion is very, very different from having a living, life-changing relationship with Jesus. I hope you can see that. I hope you can see that although all those works are great, it clearly says in God's word that you have to have him in your heart. And I hope and I pray today that you will not miss, because of 18 inches, the distance from your head to your heart, that you will know Christ in your heart as well as your head. And that it won't just be a stale, dry religion for you, that it will be a living, exciting, vibrant life that you have in Christ Jesus. Now, if you want to talk to me about any of these things, if you want to discuss any of these things, I don't have all the answers. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but I have my faith and trust fully in the Lord Jesus. If you want to talk about anything to do with faith, if you want to talk about any of those things, please get in touch on my email or whatever, and I will endeavour to get back to you if I can help in any way. Thank you again for being with me. Thank you for sticking to the end. Thank you for all your support and encouragement, your lovely messages, both under these videos and privately. I really do appreciate it. And I just pray that as over the next few weeks, you'll really have a chance to just meet again with God, and that you'll just have the chance to spend time in his presence, and that we'll see each other again. Now, till then, stay safe, keep on knitting, and I just pray that you'll have a really good few weeks until I see you again. Thanks again. God bless. Bye for now. Bye.